Hello. I hope everyone is coping with the new age of virus. What I've got to do today is repair a acetylene hose, actually the fitting here. This is a single hose, and normally they'd be associated with an oxygen set, but in this particular case, this torch, this regulator, they're set for acetylene, and plumbers use this kind of torch. Not that common anymore because they're going to crimped fittings or some other kind of plastic fitting. This is used for copper, and you'd solder joints with this. Makes a good hot enough flame. I mean, it's not like as hot as an oxyacetylene. It's just acetylene and air. And the hose, just one single hose, and over time, like any hose, they perish. This one's cracked. I could not find a manufacturer's name associated with this or any particular inventor. There probably is one. I'd like to know if someone can leave me a comment. Fittings like this are not just for low pressure gas. They're also for very high pressure hydraulics, reusable fittings like this. There are some differences though. One difference for this particular fitting is it's an acetylene hose, and being a fuel or a fuel gas, that little notch there tells you it's left-hand threads on the nut. So you have to be careful taking these apart. Okay, to make this fitting up, it's just, you've got to start with a nice square cut. Now they make special tools for this. I'm just going to use a knife because it doesn't have a wire braid reinforcement or anything like a hydraulic hose would have. It's just a little hose. So I'll just use a knife. Important thing is it's got to be square. There you go. I'll call that square enough. Now to take this apart, I've got to unscrew it. The center part here is actually screwed into the hose. I can't just, you have to unscrew it. Well, you can see it's loose here. So in order to take that off, I need something to fix that to. I'll use the flashback arrestor. And this is left-hand thread, so thread it on. Just make that tight. Remember, it's left-hand thread, so that's tight enough. I'm going to have to clamp it there. I don't have to crush the hose this much. That's kind of important later on. I'm turning the entire core. If it was a bigger fitting, this might have actually twisted the hose off because it's in there pretty hard. There you have it. Part of the hose came off with it. You can see it there. It's ripped out of there. Boy, that really doesn't want to come off of there. Okay. This is only brass, so you can't really get it really physical with it. There we go. The rubber on the inside I can see is starting to spin. The rubber has really bonded to the threads here. Now that's kind of important to us. We want to have those threads really clean. The more friction there is here, the harder this connection is going to be to make up. So I'm going to give that a real good clean. You can't even screw that on there very well. So I'm going to clean that out. I was trying to be careful when I was wire brushing this to not mark this end up very much, because that end there is where the sealing is done. The threads don't do much sealing. Make sure this runs nice and true all the way. It's good. That's what it looks like on the inside when it's made up. One of the main differences between this low pressure gas fitting and a hydraulic fitting is the inside of this collar would be threaded on a high pressure fitting. You'd actually screw this onto the hose. In this case, it just slips on. The instructions are, you make a mark. So the objective is when this fitting is made up, we can have no more than that. That's 1/8 of an inch. And, or about 3 mil, maybe 2 mil, there's 3 mil. If the hose creeps out of this further than this, then we have to remake the fitting. It's not good enough. I'm going to lubricate this part, and I'm going to lubricate the inside of the hose. An important note to make is this is an acetylene hose, and they have these kind of fittings for oxygen as well. Oxygen, you do not want to use oil, because oil and oxygen, oil is a fuel, and oxygen is an oxidizer, and it'll cause an explosion, or it could be a bad thing. So you use something that's not oil. In this case, this is a silicon, high temp silicon, so it's safe for either one. And what I'm going to do is just put a nice even coat on the pin here. Help it slide into the hose because it's rubber and it doesn't like that. Also going to put some on the inside here. Now, I'm hook holding pressure. I'm just going to screw it in. That's where this comes in handy. I couldn't do this unless I had this tied in to a flash arrestor or something else. But I just need this nut. That's going to be what I'm actually turning. See what's happening? It's already walking out. The hose is turning. You see that? Okay, I'm going to change. What I've had to do is I've had to put the hose in the vise. I'm not crushing the hose, but the hose continues to walk out. I can't put enough pressure on it. I need to back this up, I need to turn here, and I need to press. So I need 3 hands. I'm going to make myself a little gizmo here that doesn't hurt my chest. And I will try to turn and do all these things at once. Okay, that's it. Bottomed out. We're in the safe zone. It's about 1/8 of an inch, so I think we're good. Didn't mark up the hose, it's not damaged. Okay, we're good. Okay, I put it together. We're about 1/8 of an inch, but the thing is, the hose isn't actually butted to the inside of this. And I think all the fittings that you find are going to have some gap here. So I'm just going to go ahead and, you can feel it just very lightly, turn this until you feel it butt up on the inside against the end of the hose. The hose isn't turning, so I know it's still on the fitting really well. There, good and tight. A couple of threads there. I'm still within my proper 1/8 of an inch. That's a good fitting. I had to redo that one too. It's about the same. So we're good. If you've liked this video, please feel free to hit the like button and or subscribe. Thank you.